Hello and welcome to another session of Masks, A New Generation. This is Masks Extinction. We are here on the first day of June as we go into our last month of this series. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him. This session is part of Open Hearth Gaming Community. You can find out more about that at a link that's in the show notes. This is in my channel. Subscribe, all of those delightful things that I could say again. There are links to my blog, website, all of that stuff also in the show notes. So lots of cool stuff there. But last time we had our group meet with the grandfather of Ephivos. And that was a big meeting where we had our guardian figure for Yanu, and we had the Quinteros and so on. And that changed the situation up, meaning that the three of you will now be attending Oberon Academy, which is the high-end facility here for private education within City of Ocean. And so we're actually going to kind of start today by orienting the three of you there and building up a picture of what this place looks like. This facility, this location is in one of the upscale areas closer to downtown, but it is very much a campus. It is a campus that is bounded by walls just to provide privacy and protection, but it has sprawling grounds that probably worth quite a bit of money given the development of the city since this place was first established. And it is certainly a place that has a sterling reputation. And there are on-campus dormitories for a few students who are from out of town, but then a lot of other students, ride the transport in or are driven in or so on. When the three of you come in, and we're going to assume for the purposes of this that there's been arranged some sort of vehicle picking you up because the three of you are going to kind of a specialized orientation to get you settled into things. When the gates open and you drive in, Jenny, what's like the first thing that catches your eye when you come in on the grounds of this campus?
Um, I think maybe it's just as simple as it's just a vast green space, right? We're in a pretty um chrome and steel sort of city, but we go up this big long, winding, and it's just perfectly perfect lawn, and everything. And I think that's probably the first thing.
Yeah, it's ostentatious here in California. There's clearly a lot of water spent on keeping these grounds up, and it is beautifully appointed. People are driving in. Summer, this is a big campus, and it does host K to 12. We've established that, and this has been a premier educational institution that has had rumors has said a lot of the scions and kids of people with superpowers and things like that, and has had a real history of engagement with that. What is it here that you see that tells you that like those days have passed, that that those people aren't here because of the annihilation event? Like what gives you that sign?
Oh, signs of the extinction,
Yeah,
you
like
mean?
like this place, you can tell like it is not what it used to be. It has been hit as hard as any place by the vanishing of those heroes. Is it closed down buildings? Is it number of people? Is it like threadbare resources? Like what tells you that they have taken a hit?
Hmm. Interesting. Because as far as we know, this is not actually a superhero school, so it's not like you'd have supers teaching all the classes and stuff like that.
No, but I think you can
Um,
tell that that loss has had an impact here.
mhm. Um, so I think there is some sort of sculpture on campus, which has become a makeshift memorial. So like it has offerenda and stuff like that around it, and people leaving bouquets and candles and stuff like that. Um, yeah, it's a um, yeah, maybe even like some sort of sculpture that wasn't originally supposed to specifically reference supers, but like there's a Rodin or something like that that's like a
Mm-hmm.
humanoid figure, and someone has put a mask on it. And then that's the thing that's sort of surrounded by all these flowers and posters um, and letters and things like that.
Black ribbons tied, various
Hmm.
symbols and signs that are on that.
Yeah.
You know, you see people kind of going in, streaming by that. You know, there's some people that look at it, some people that avoid looking at it as you come in. Uh, and Yanu, uh, what is the thing here that you have an idea of what a school is supposed to be from watching television? But what is the thing here that you see that surprises you?
Um, I think what surprises him is the level of gravitas that's gone into the architecture here. Because most of the time, what he's seen in the media, he's been able to observe is like your classic, like American public high school, like your things where like the place is a little bit run down. Things are might be basically clean, but they've clearly been lived in to a certain extent. Whereas this place, like when you see the buildings, like instead of a veneer, like a lot of these buildings are like actual like stonework and
Mm-hmm.
brick, like quality stuff. And they are maintained at a level that you would never expect any sort of any publicly funded facility to be. Um, so the same phenomenon with the yard goes double for these buildings because they are like the mortar and the stonework is clean. Like this is something to where this is something where they take that serious. They take this presentation seriously.
Excellent. As the car pulls up uh, uh, to drop you off, you will see that there is a woman who is waiting there for you, and she will see you out, and she says, "Hello, my name is Miss November. I am going to be handling your orientation here today to get you set up at Oberon Academy. Uh, we, Mr. Alexandros, uh, has informed us of your special needs, and I spoke earlier today with uh, a staff member of his who I wasn't sure, an attaché who gave me fuller details. So if you'd like to follow me, we'll get you set up. And she'll kind of turn without waiting for you to acknowledge her and walks on. Uh, I think that Jenny, as the three of you start walking, you will catch out of the corner of your eye one of the students about your age has stopped and is staring at the three of you as you are walking. And I think you will realize that in his school uniform, fancied up, you will see Vortex. And like his jaw has kind of dropped. Do you do anything? Do you say anything?
I think she's just gonna wink at him when she walks by.
Kind of takes a step back, pulls his messenger bag a little tighter, and then heads on in. And November will take you into a like meeting room, classroom with the fine AV stuff and the chairs and so on. And she has you all sit, and she will say, Oberon Academy has been dedicated to handling the needs of a variety of students. Students who are well educated, well trained, students who are the family members of people in high risk occupations, students with special talents and abilities. We have that has been important to us. Of course, in this last year, that has significantly changed and impacted us. But I think that you will find that Oberon Academy still has quite a bit to offer. You will find that there are students here who may have alternate personae, shall we say, as you do. We ask that you not address students by their alternate personae while you are on campus, and that any conflicts that might arise interpersonal, any of those things be handled in the same way as we would any disagreements based on the school codes here. I've put a handbook out there for you on the pad that I've given you that has the rules for school behavior and so on. So Summer, we've received your transcripts. It looks to me, going through these, that you should be able to slot into our coursework fairly easily. We're following a number of the same core curriculums that you were at your previous school. And based on your test scores, I don't think you'll have an issue integrating. Is there anything you want to ask me about, or any specific course or program needs that you might have?
Like, I don't actually know a lot about this place. Like, are we all going to be in the same classes? Are we going to have any classes together?
There is a core curriculum for your age bracket, and we will assign you three to the same core course that happens just after lunch for about 90 minutes that Ephesos is in, just so you have someone to work with. That's a sort of great books, great issues course, so more of a discussion seminar than it is a tested course. And we'd like for the various cohorts to develop and build their unity through that. So that is the course that you will have. You, Summer, may have some courses with Ephesos, depending on what classes you take. We're going to be doing some testing today and probably tomorrow for you, Mr. Yanu, and you, Miss Miss Rel, is it? Just because apparently there weren't any transcripts available for you, Miss Rel.
Yeah, they must have got lost.
And I understand that, Mr. Yano, you are a long distance transfer, shall we say?
Yes,
Okay.
I think that is the best way to understand it.
Um, Summer, I see that you worked in with the theater as part of your extracurricular.
Oh, yeah, I was like doing sets for a play.
Do you want to work in the workshop, or do you want to work in the theater, or something of that sort? What would you prefer, or would you like to hold off on extracurriculars until you've gotten a chance to see how things are here?
Yeah, I don't think I want to make any choices yet. And we might want to do something together. And also, are there any like classes or anything about like I forget what your euphemism was,
Alternate
to help us,
identities, special
yeah, help us
abilities.
to understand our special needs and utilize them better, I guess.
Yes. And if you wish to pursue that track, we can set up a supervisor to work with you and your compatriots here as an independent study.
Yeah, cool.
Uh, our faculty in that regard has been, as you can imagine, uh, depreciated. We have drawn on some new faculty and some older faculty to handle those things, but I'm sure that we will be able to set that up. We have training facilities and that kind of thing as well that cater to those special needs. Uh, Anything else? I have put on the pad there a guided tour so that if you'd like to spend the next couple of hours, you can walk around using that to help orient you. Summer, until you choose classes for the next, week or so, if you want to audit different coursework to see what fits your interest, you're more than welcome to do that.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
So I'm going to let the three of you on your own to move about and see what you think and use the pad to orient yourself. After lunch, uh, you'll be in period A for the lunch. After lunch, I'd like to get Jenny and Yanu, pick them up and move them on to doing the testing. Any other questions? Good. Well, I will see the three of you then again at 12:30, and she'll kind of let you go. Yanu, what's your reaction to all of this?
I think he is trying to take it in as much as he can. The setup is odd. This the idea behind this school and their scheduling is uh, not what he expected. This seems much more of an open schedule than he was thinking that a high school would be. Um, it's sort of like, and we'll see you sometime after lunch sort of scheduling. Like that, he's kind of he's a little out of sorts about it. This could be a culture shock thing.
And Jenny, what's your attitude right now?
Well, attitude's probably the right word. I think she's probably that classic private school image where she's barely wearing the uniform, right? Like if they're supposed to have like a tie on, it's like undone or whatever, and just kind of like that. And uh she's kind of unimpressed with all of the pomp and circumstance. But so you said we have these tablets, right?
Yeah, they've handed you these branded tablets that are clearly have been set to your ident, and can be used to move around and provide either a text tour or a voice in your earbuds. Welcome to this portion of Oberon Academy. This is the museum.
Okay, so she's gonna start banging around on that thing, trying to see if there's like a directory or something that like is there like she wants to try to ping Vortex, and we're gonna have to come up with a name, a real name for him before that happens. But she's looking to see um uh you know can she like you know reach out to him or ping him on the tablet or whatever.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a message system built into the schools thing. You can tell that it's probably loosely used because, of course, it's monitored. But you can track down the Emil Sharp. That's his name.
Excellent. Save me the pain of coming up with a
yes.
name.
And you can ping him if you wish.
Does it tell us? I think what she wants to do, if possible, is figure out where he's at. Is that like what class he might be in or whatever?
Yeah, I think you can probably pull up his schedule. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think what she's going to do is figure out where he's going to be and go like wait outside, for when he comes out of class.
Are you telling the others?
Yep.
What are you saying to them?
He's like, I'm gonna go explore. Just check the place out or whatever. You'll just ping me if you need me, and I'll see you guys at lunch.
Very well. And I think Yanu is like scrolling through the tablet, and I think Lowell, I think he might be like we're setting up for task to roll his culture shock.
Yeah, I think this is a little automated, a little much for you. This is very high tech.
It's very high tech, and this is this is a way different social situation than he's used to in relation to any sort of school.
Absolutely.
So I mean, my adaptability is currently 0, so it's a flat roll.
There we go.
That is an 8, so that is a hit.
Yeah.
So
what does that give you on that midpoint? We've only had you super succeed or super fail on this, so this is a uncharted territory.
Honestly, usually I've done terribly. Like but the middle hit, basically on any hit, I just explain how I've acclimated to this, and why it doesn't feel why it doesn't completely weird me out. So I think and I also get the shift adaptability up and another label down.
Okay.
So I think he's looking at this thing, the tablet, and the layout, and I think he's recalling something, especially something when he was able to visit like a large city, and they had an academy with a similar aesthetic, like sprawling campus, like different. They were big like amphitheaters for instruction instead of lecture halls. But like he's seeing enough similarities to where he's not completely out of sorts, and I think the tablet map is really helping him sort of put this space into a context that he wouldn't have been able to if he was just looking at it.
All right. That seems reasonable. So I want to pause the recording here. So Summer, Jenny heads out Yanu seems to have oriented himself. What is it that you want to do here on campus?
So Summer kind of thought that they were all going to stay together and like check out this place and like do this as a team, and that seems to have completely fallen apart. So she's a little bit at a loss. That being said, she figures first things first, try and make sure nothing is like screamingly evil. So I think she wants to use her special perceptions to like see if there's anything supernatural going on.
Oh, that seems like a good call. So, do you want to do this as using that as fictional positioning to assess the situation, or do you want to do this as unleash your powers?
Um, I feel like there's stat reasons to go one way or the other.
Yes, yes, that's why I'm giving you two options.
What's assess the situation based on?
Superior.
Superior. And unleash your powers as freak. Um, that would certainly be an exciting way to start the new school. Um, okay, how reasonable is she being? How do we have any? Oh, she does not currently have any conditions, so she is going to do the sensible thing
Okay.
and not actually like have lightning sparkling all around her. So she's just going to do and assess the situation, which I am assuming is more subtle.
Yeah, let's have you roll.
Okay. Roll superior? Yeah, okay. So that's just a flat roll. That's an 8.
So that is an 8. So what is the question that you have? What do you want to know based on that? Assess the situation.
Okay, let me remind myself what the questions are. What here is the biggest threat?
I think that like you're kind of moving around, kind of listening in on things and hearing. And there's certainly, people are talking about superherodom stuff. They kind of pick that up in passing. And I think you will hear that like there are a couple of people with powers that are on staff that are people don't know what they can do and stuff, or maybe they're D-list people or so on. But uh, you will see one of these people who kind of is going around and they're clearly staff, but they're moving around and about. And they have that feeling to you like they are, they have powers and maybe not like that guy who was scanning at your old school, but they're clearly somebody who is kind of keeping watch around here. They look older, and they definitely have the feeling of being the security on campus. How does that sound? And if you
Sure, that works.
yeah, if you ask somebody, they will tell you that that's Cornelius.
Oh, Cornelius? What's he do? Is he like the gym teacher or something?
No, he's never said anything, but a lot of people think that he's actually a full super, one who didn't get taken, but nobody knows. None of the other staff bother him. He kind of comes and goes as he pleases. But like he's the guy who kind of say like if like a couple people go to throw down, he's the guy who'll show up kind of out of nowhere, not say anything, but people will be like, I guess we're not going to have a fight now, are we? Because they don't know what he's going to do.
Okay.
I don't know. Does that feel like a fair answer?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So what I would like to do is give Mona, I'm going to give you like a frame of where we are in the gameplay. And then I'd like to have you introduce your character, and we'll figure out how we want to connect you up with the others. Does that seem okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So what happened in our last session is that the one of the students, Ephivos, who's our legacy, goes to this Oberon Academy, which is a school that is a high-end educational private institution, but clearly has a few super beings on staff or amongst the student body, but not entirely. It's mostly a normal school. But the other three members of the team, Purple Haze, Skirmish, and Ghost Girl, through various things with the parental units, are now going to that school. And so this is the first day, this is orientation day for them to have arrived at that school and are starting their term there. So that's kind of what's going on in the background. So with that in mind, I'd like to hear who your character is.
Wait, so everyone is just going to a new school?
They have been working as a super team together, going to different educational institutions, but that has changed, and they've just the three who are here, Purple Haze, Skirmish, and Summer, are just starting, like, transferring into this new school.
Oh, huh. Okay.
So I think that may fit with how your character operates a little bit, and we can probably work that together. Figure out maybe how you knew one or more of them beforehand to do that influence build and establish some previous connections, if that seems cool.
Yeah, sure. Just let me. I forgot. I'm getting the character keeper now.
So why don't you tell us who your character is? Tell us generally what their moves are, and then we'll take a look at the backstory questions and things.
Yeah. So, sorry, my computer is being a little. So anyway, I'm playing Miss Noseda, he. So like she used like both like interchangeably. So she is the transfer because I was thinking I'm joining the game midway through, and when I go to the character keeper, the less the last one is already like I don't know why, but it's all like the playbook is already selected to the transfer, so I think I might as well roll with it. Yeah,
Okay.
so I imagine like because so I was because like so her power is like alternate form and armor and super speed. So I imagine this is kind of like a so she doesn't have a costume because I think she just had used the alternate form to conceal her identity. Like yeah, I don't know like the Hulk or something.
Mm-hmm. Are you imagining that like what does that look like when he transforms from one form to the other?
Yeah, I kind of imagine it's because like he's like a super powered form is kind of like robotic, mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine it's something between like a Kamen Rider transformation
Okay.
and like and also like I remember like in the comic the Iron Man has like this. I don't know if he still has it, but he used for a while he has this what extremist like he has like armor like either inside a really small case or like inside his like nano machine in his blood or
Mm-hmm.
something like that where like he can just make armor like appear without actually having to wear them.
Yeah, I think that sounds great. Absolutely. Like, so do you think your armor looks more medieval, more Iron Man high tech, more mecha?
Yeah, it's definitely something high-tech mecha.
Okay. So tell us about which moves you took.
Yeah. So for move right now, I have yeah. So I have my first rodeo, which is like the first time you encounter a new or uncommon situation in the city, you may roll plus mundane instead of the appropriate label. If you succeed, take plus one forward. And I also have not a flyover, which is when an opponent underestimates you or attempts to call you out as being an outsider, I can roll plus savior to like get an opportunity because they underestimate me.
Awesome. Awesome. Tell us about uh your backstory. Let's answer those questions and like give us this like what's your origin? How did you come to have this mechanical set of armor? And then we'll kind of like talk about your backstory things.
Yeah, so I wasn't because I was reading like I was reading like the setting like in the email like this isn't like so like it has a kind of more specific premise where like all the heroes are dead and then there was this like technology and stuff they left behind, right?
Yeah. So the big thing that's affecting the world is that there's been this vanishing of 90+% of the supers and most of the high level ones. So there are very few that are left around. And You are kind of the exception. And yeah, there's been this uh, process of people uncovering and finding tech and things left behind. Is that how you came to find your armor?
Yeah, I think I think like it's kind of like a blue beetle kind of situation where I think like I go to a place that I don't know may have been like a formal like I don't know hideout or headquarter, and then I find this thing like I don't know like it probably doesn't look like I think like it's compact, right? Like it probably doesn't look like armor, or maybe it looks like junk, like broken thing. But then I accidentally activated and bonded with it, so now like it's functional.
Excellent. Uh, so let's look at the backstory questions. So you get this armor. How long do you think you've had it? Have you just had it since like a little bit after this extinction event happened?
Yeah, no, I think I haven't had it for very long.
Okay. So you were in a smaller town, in a smaller area, and you've come to the big city. Uh, so what brought you here? Like, why did you come?
Yeah, so I have like written down the background story in like a simple broad stroke, so we can talk about it if we have to. So, like, what brought me to the city in the first place is like it's a very mundane question. a very mundane reason is that my mom think I will have a better shot at a good life in the big city because they are like, hey, you have superpower now, but like you can't do much about it. We see it like in this small town, so maybe you should try the city.
And so your parents, they know of your super identity?
Yeah, I think so.
Uh, uh just like who, what is your parental unit? Is it mom? Is it dad? Is it one or the other? Is it both? Is it
Yeah, yeah.
two?
It's like two mothers.
And the next question there is, what was your first true taste of being a hero, of the hero lifestyle?
Yeah, so I think like it's a small mining town. Like I came from a small mining town, and there was like this union, like basically a union like protest, and then like they sent some riot police to like bust the union, and that's when like I don't think like I haven't actually used my powers before that because both because I don't know how to and because like it's a small town and there are not a lot of reason to do it. But I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the first time like I had to like use the power and protect like the miners.
Awesome. And who was the first villain to put you on your butt?
Yeah, so I tell me if this is okay, but I looked over the NPCs tab and I picked the Ace of Spades because I think he's also the first supervillain I actually fought because like I was in the small town and like most of the things I do are pretty like I don't know like capturing like robbers like small time convenience store robber like rescuing cats and I think like he's like the first villain I encounter when I like after I got to the big city and I know absolutely nothing. He's probably like the first super powered or like a not ordinary person who is also evil that I have seen.
Absolutely. And that is a great choice. It's someone who has had a villainous relationship with Purple Haze. So there's some nice connections there. I think that's a good choice. And why do you care about the team, about being on a team?
Yeah. So again, I think this is pretty mundane, but like for the time being, it's simply because my mom's told me I should play nice with others.
Absolutely. Anyone else have any questions before I kind of like talk about maybe how we're going to fold in uh, 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 Silver Chariot into this? Any questions,
Yeah.
Summer?
Yeah. So I noticed that this character is Latino, and so is Summer. She is in fact Spanish, um, and she and her parents emigrated from Spain. And I was wondering if you knew what sort of heritage um, um, Hermes, I'm not quite sure how to say that, has.
Hmm? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
Like, are you thinking Mexican? Were you thinking Cuban? Were you thinking, Bolivian, Peruvian,
I think I think he's Dominican.
Dominican? Okay.
So what I'd like to imagine here, and this is kind of, we're going to kind of retcon a little bit, is that uh, your team has, on a couple of occasions, crossed paths with Silver Chariot, like in that like one issue special kind of way where you've shown up and had brief team ups, but like haven't fully invited them into the team until now. Does that seem fair?
That works.
Does that work for you, Hermes?
Let me, because this is because we need to like establish relationships, right?
Yeah, yeah. Not that you have a tight relationship, but you at least have known them, have an acquaintance with them. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, no, because I think
I just want to give you some
because
context for when we do the relationship questions.
yeah, no, because I picked the transfer, so like so like I feel like I can be like actually new.
Okay.
So I'm thinking because I'm looking at the relationship question. So because I also filled the learn tentatively, but obviously I didn't know, and like I only glanced at the other PCs.
Mm-hmm.
So because one of them is that someone reminds you of someone from home that may not be for the best. So I think like maybe this is summer because like I mean maybe like the mining town is like maybe it's largely Latino, like Latino descendant population.
Mm-hmm.
And like this, so this doesn't require me to know the thing a lot because it's just like, hey, this person reminds me like of like I don't know my mom or like that guy from like the corner store. And for the second question, you pulled someone out of a few gems. They know you have left back, and so like this is stretching it a little, but I think because I have already established that I have encountered the Ace of Spades, maybe this is more of a situation where like when we met, like Jenny, like after we met, like pretty soon Jenny know that I have fought Ace of Spades a couple of times.
Does that seem fair, Jenny?
Yep, that works for me.
Okay. All right.
And yes, feel free to have Summer remind you of whoever you like.
So let's do this. I want to take our first break here. I want to take 10 so I can think about this. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I want to like bring us together and like have us cross paths. We can like consolidate a little bit. So let's take 10 and then we'll come back.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I'd like to do is I want to finish the scene that Jenny had set up. Then I think I want to cross paths between Summer and Hermes, if that's okay, and then we'll kind of check in with Yanu. That's kind of the order I want to do this in?
Oh, one thing I want to check in on.
Sure.
Mona, did you add any lines or veils? And also I see you didn't fill out the your preferences on character romance.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, because like the romance thing only have yeah,
Yep,
thanks.
I'll get that set up. Sorry about that.
We can change the borders. It's all good.
So you can make your picks there. So to go through what our lines of veils are, just so we again have them on record, and thank you again, Marley, for mentioning this. So hard lines: homophobia, racism, sexual assault, torture by the PCs, harm to dogs, trapped or falling elevator or plane, and then a set of names: Zach, Lauren, Mark, Sandy. Then we have veils on eye injuries, graphic gore, harm to children, sexual content, or torture. And then we have ask force for any issues of mind control or PC betrayal. And again, we're also using X card as a layered supplement to that, especially if we hit something that we haven't marked out there on the lines and veils, or if we start moving towards that. And then, of course, we have open door as our final safety procedure. So let's swing back. Jenny, you said you were going to track down Vortex and talk with him, catch him outside of his classroom. So he's coming out of his math classroom. He's talking with some of the other students. What is unexpected for you about his attitude and manner in interacting with his fellow students?
Yeah, I think he's very correct and proper and very what you would expect at a private school, maybe.
Okay.
Like very correct, which is not what she knows of him or knew of him.
Very correct tie. The uniform is perfect. There's no modifications to it. And I think that as Vortex comes out and sees you, Vortex kind of moves over and Emil will grab your arm and kind of move you off away from the other students. And we'll say, what?
What? No welcome. No. Is this how Oberon Academy welcomes their new students?
Are you and your team here to arrest us? Is that what's happening?
What? You know me better than that.
I thought I did, but you're with a super team now.
Well, I didn't have much choice, did I?
That wasn't me. It wasn't on me. That was Songbird's call.
Well, needless to say, my guardian has determined that myself and my friends would benefit from the hallowed halls of Oberon Academy.
So he will put his hand up and he will lean in close and he goes, look, your pal Ephivos, I have been in multiple classes with him and he has never noticed me. Please do not point me out to him. I have no idea how he doesn't recognize me from our battles, but he doesn't.
Well, maybe it's because you clean up so well.
Not so bad yourself either.
So maybe we can make a deal. Maybe I keep my mouth shut. Maybe I don't say anything to anyone. But what's the scoop on this place? Maybe give me the scoop on this place, and what do we need to know?
So let's have you provoke someone.
I can do that. It's might actually be one of her superpowers.
Yeah. So roll with superior.
All right. So that's just going to be flat.
Now, do you have influence over them? I can't remember.
I do not believe so. No.
Okay.
No. Although they should, because they were so stunning last time. But that's okay. Not so good. 5.
That's a 5. So he says, I'll give you the skinny, but I don't want to be seen with you, and you don't want to be seen with me. And if you have questions, I'll answer them. Does that seem cool? Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what you need to know.
I think maybe she'll get a little, she's like, fine, if that's how you want to play it.
And he'll nod. And he seems reasonably accommodating. You get to mark XP. And I do think that we see you move away from him. And I think that a little bit after you've gone away from him, we'll see him reach into his pack and pull out a different phone than his usual phone. And we'll see him dial somebody and say, I need to talk to the boss. Seem fair? So, Hermes, how do you think you got recruited to this school? Did your mom call someone? Did a local hero recommend you? How do you think you got in?
Yeah, I think I probably have impressed a local hero who recommended me, I think.
Yeah. And they kind of pushed you to go to this school, and you've arrived, and it is super fancy. It's a campus. It has little kids through, top of high school. It's got multiple buildings. It's got green space around here. Everyone's in fancy uniforms. It's very high end, and they've kind of you've kind of gotten lost a little bit here in trying to get oriented. And you're trying to kind of find your way around, and no one's particularly helpful as you kind of wandered the campus. Summer, uh, Yanu has gone off his way, Jenny has gone off her way, and you've kind of started to wander around when you will hear Boo say, "Go to the front."
I look around. Is it obvious what the front means?
Yeah, clearly, like you can see the front of the school there, like clearly the main drive. Who says go up front?
Okay. What am I going to see when I get there? But I do start, going towards the front.
Okay, and I think you'll walk out towards the front. Now, if I recall, you don't really have a costume as Ghost Girl, do you? We've ever kind of really established that.
We never really talked about it. We were thinking some sort of Kitty Pryde situation where it's not like a standard costume, but there's it changes every single time.
And as you come out, you will see someone who is kind of looks lost. Mona, describe give us how do you think Hermes is dressed? What do they look like? Kind of give us a good description of them.
Yeah, I think so. I think she has like messy, long red hair that's held with a pretty plain like a hair like a headdress I don't know what it's called in English.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think she has this. It's basically kind of like a cover or something you wear like doing mechanic or like other like dirty heavy work?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know, I think he doesn't have a costume yet or he doesn't have a uniform yet or maybe he hasn't like changed into them.
That's perfect. That's perfect. And Summer, you will see this person who's about your age, uh, who is dressed down, and so everyone is ignoring her. And Boo says to you, "You know her."
And Summer will stare at her and say to Boo, I'm pretty sure I do not.
You haven't seen her like this. You've only seen her in costume. You should help her.
Okay, like good costume or like I've punched her in the face before kind of costume.
You haven't punched her.
Okay. Um Summer will go up to her and say, hi, welcome to Oberon Academy.
Yeah, I think I'm a little startled because I think this is like the first time anyone, especially a student, like talk to me and like walk up to me in this school. So I'm like, huh? Uh, hello, hi, are you a student here?
Yes, yes, I am a student here. I have, as of about 2 hours ago, I am a student here, which is
Oh,
possibly 2 more hours than you have.
yeah, I think so.
Okay. Was someone supposed to come meet you? Like I got this whole orientation counselor thing that happened.
Yeah, I think I'm also supposed to go to the orientation, but I don't know where that is.
Okay. Um, Here, look, I have this fancy iPad thing that they gave me. Did they give you one?
The what?
She will take out her tablet that that she was given, and she tries to look up this person in front of her.
I think that kind of as you pull down, you kind of find that there is a space that lists the arriving incoming students, and it has you and Yanu and Jenny, and you'll see another name that is there, Hermes Naseda.
Hermes? Is that your name? Am I saying it right? Hermes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you are a
Oh,
new student here.
okay. How do you know my name?
She will point at the tablet and says, "Look, it's you."
Is this some kind of it's a phone on steroid?
Um, I don't know about steroids. It's a tablet. I think she
Oh,
called it a pad. I forget what she called it.
Okay.
She was being pretentious and she called it something other than an iPad or a tablet. Anyway, yeah, you should have like one of these and like a uniform and stuff. Do you have a uniform?
yeah, I think I must have like I think I must have a large-ish bag, right? Like with like belongings and clothes. So I said, yeah, uh, yeah, I think so. Like I mean, I mean, my mom packed some of the stuff for me, so I'm not sure. It's probably in the bag.
Summer will motion for her to open the bag.
Here, I mean, it. I mean, let's. I mean, I have like stuffs.
Okay, I was mostly just trying to see if you actually had a uniform, because if you don't, then that's a different problem we need to solve. Should we just assume you have a uniform without looking, and then we can find like a locker room or something for you to change?
You want to go
Is
along with
this?
that?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that the two of you can find a locker room and open it up. And I think Summer, you immediately realize that this is a bag that's been packed by a mom and not by a teen. Moms can pack everything. Parental units have learned to stuff everything into the bag, and it's very clearly set up that way. And you will find that there is a uniform, and like in the uniform is like a card that says, when you get to campus, scan this card, kind of thing.
Summer will look at the card and raise her eyebrow and look around for a scanner.
Yeah, it looks like you can just use the QRC reader on your tablet.
Okay, she will go ahead and do that.
And Hermes, how does this uniform fit? Well, loose, baggy, tight?
Yeah, I think it's loose, but too like it's too short.
Okay.
So like I'm taller than it's supposed to be.
And you mentioned the kind of the extremist thing. Like in your human form before you summon the armor, is there anything that you carry or wear that we can see that is that? Is it a bracelet? Is it a glove? Is it a phone? Is it a tattoo? Is there anything that we see of that?
Yeah, I think it's pretty subtle, but I think like sometimes when I'm nervous or like when I'm upset, you can see like there are like circuit like circuit glowing red or blue under like my skin.
Yeah. So I think you will definitely see that Summer as Hermes is getting set here.
And Summer thinks to herself, oh, she's a robot. That explains so much.
Let me cut away from you two, but I will come back with the arrival of the guidance person here in just a second. Yanu, what are you doing in your wanderings around campus?
Well, I think Yanu's instincts are going to lend him, now that he's kind of gotten himself oriented with the map and everything. The first thing he wants to look at is the two things. Well, he's got two things.
Okay.
Whichever of them is closest is the one he'll go to first. One is the gym, and one is the library.
So gym first, I assume?
Yeah, that's probably closer, would be my guess.
It takes you a bit to kind of figure out where the gym is, because they don't have a gym. They have a sports complex. And you'll find a building that has, there's a track and field area. There's the indoor swimming pool. There's the several different weight rooms. There's the sports field that is a multi-purpose field. All of that. And I think this may be one of the places where it becomes clear how much the student population has dropped off, because it is like, it does feel kind kind of empty here. But of course, as the person at the desk will greet you and explain the check-in procedures and how you get a locker and how you do all those things, and we'll ask, is there anything we can do for you?
I am simply trying to make sure I know where everything is. Should I go ahead and get a locker now before I have classes or anything here? Or
No. When you come in, you'll use your pad to register the locker you're using and lock it with that.
oh, so everything will be done through
Yes,
this
don't
pad.
lose that pad.
Very well. Is there something I need to simply tour the facility briskly to
No,
just familiarize myself with the layout?
just scan your pad at the entry point, and it'll register that you can go in, and you can, if you need to use particular facilities, you just scan it at those, and it'll let you in.
Thank you. I think
And
he's wandering through that facility first. Kind of get a lay of like, how is this set up? Is this obviously it's going to be super fancy.
mhm.
I'm presuming it's split between this is like weight training, this is a gymnastics area, this is a like sort of a generic sports zone, like a basketball thing set up, that sort of stuff. And it's split up into various portions like that. And there's probably an outdoor track somewhere.
Absolutely, yeah. Uh, uh, it's very fancy. It's higher end than you're used to. It's excessive.
It feels a little too ornate to actually be a place where you would work out.
Yes.
Okay. He's a little uncomfortable with this part, and he after he's gotten sort of a feel for where everything is, basically, he's going to try to get to the library. And
I think as you're kind of moving out through one of the weight rooms, you'll hear a crashing sound. Uh,
mm,
and you look over and you'll see this student about your age, this woman, has kind of dropped her free weights that she was holding, and has kind of seen you, and you see her stop and kind of look down and grab them up and kind of turn around and move away from you.
hmm. I'm sorry if I startled you. I was simply touring the facility. He says as she's retreating. He doesn't follow her or anything.
That's okay. That's okay. No problem. No problem. She moves away from you very quickly.
Hmm.
The library is very strange because while it does have physical volumes, it is very clearly an electronic based lending library, with essentially terminals that you can work at to do research and to call up the books and borrow things electronically. Everything seems to be sent that way, and the librarians are there to help you out. Say,
So there's very few physical books available. Almost
yeah,
all of it is geared toward toward this pad
yeah.
device.
They say we've moved over from paper to mostly electronic resources. We have a rare books collection that we keep secured, and then we have a set of physical basic reference books as well.
What are your rare books?
They're specialty books turned in by alumni over the years.
What sort of specialty books?
See her pause. Uh, some of them are historical volumes. Some of them are delicate books requiring special restoration and care. Some of them are restricted.
Restricted. I was not aware that books were restricted.
Some books in our library are restricted, yes.
What sort of books are restricted?
I couldn't possibly say.
He looks a little taken aback by that. How would I request access to some book in this restricted list? Is it something where I must be supervised by a functionary or minister or administrator, or
You would need a senior staff person to vouch for you and for a particular volume?
is there a listing of these volumes?
No. Which is to say, yes, but I can't show you it.
Ah. Interesting. And
is there anything else I can help you with?
He says, if I am using this pad to access the system, am I able to access the library system remotely to download these other volumes that are available?
Absolutely. Yeah. Once you're registered in the system, as you are with the pad, you can utilize your library at home or on the go.
Very good. How big is the library space? Like, is it still like traditionally large with shelves and?
It is clearly built for the library before they went digital, so it still has that big space. You know, the walkways around the second floor that look down to the main area. There's still lots of shelves and things like that that have now been filled with displays and pictures and things.
He looks a little he looks a little down as he nods to the librarian and leaves the library facility. He does walk around a little bit to get a sort of feel for where he thinks these restricted books might be.
Okay. Let me cut back to Summer and get names again. Hermes. You will see Miss November comes down to where the two of you are at, and she looks at you, Summer, and says, "Oh, I see you found our stray transfer."
Yes, I have. They're right here about to finish changing. If you want to just wait a minute.
Absolutely. And you'll get changed, and you see this woman who will greet you. She'll say, "You're Miss Nocita?"
Yeah. Miss works fine, I guess.
We'll see about getting that uniform fitted for you so it works a little bit better for you.
Out of character, what does the uniform look like? Is it like, yeah?
I'm assuming classic like anime school
Okay.
pants, jacket, especially the male outfit can be unisex, can be worn by men or women, that kind of thing. It can be interchanged with skirts, any kind of that sort of classic look.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I'm just wondering.
Sure. What color is it? You tell me that.
It's probably like it's usually navy blue or something like that.
Okay. Navy blue. Summer, what's the other like fashion or pattern detail about this navy blue uniform?
It is so there's like this pin that everyone wears. That's sort of like a sort of like a lapel pin that goes on the blazer. That's the logo of the school.
Excellent. She'll say, why don't you two come with me and we'll pick up Jenny and Yanu, and we can kind of get everybody oriented. Maybe I can answer some more questions for you.
Sure.
So she'll kind of walk you on. Jenny, Yanu, you'll get a ping on your pads telling you to come to a particular place to meet up there. And so I think the four of you will meet with Miss November. And Hermes, this time you do see someone that you recognize. Now, I forget, Purple Haze, do you have a mask, a costume? Are you disguise your identity? Or are you?
I don't think so.
Okay. So I think, Hermes, you will recognize Purple Haze and you will recognize Skirmish, like you've seen them both before. They don't know who you are, but you clearly recognize them.
Yeah. I think I'm glad to see like someone I recognize, but I also I'm still a little nervous, and so I was like, hey, uh, yeah, hi.
So did we establish though that Jenny and Hermes might know each other more, or does Jenny only know her through her the secret identity?
What do you think, Hermes?
Yeah, I mean, if she mostly know me through like fighting the like Ace of Spades, then probably only through like superhero identity.
Yeah. So you've never seen her out of that armored costume.
Okay.
You've seen him out of that. Yeah. But this person that has been brought along by Summer and Miss November is kind of greeting you like maybe they know you.
So
Yeah, Johnny waves.
yeah, Jenny will look at her because maybe there are things about you in your alternate that carry over, right? So maybe she's like looks at you a little bit like hello, and then looks at Summer and says, you found a friend?
Summer shrugs. Who said that? I don't. Well, that they should also that they are also someone who has special needs, and I should say hi.
And Miss November will say, Hermes was recommended to the school by Avatar. She also has an alternate identity. So she may also have similar needs to the three of you. And Miss November would turn to you, Hermes, and will say, these are additional transfer students that have transferred in today. And they also have special abilities.
Oh, so you mean like superpowers?
Special abilities is the term that we prefer to use here on campus.
Oh, okay, sorry.
And she will say, you've had a chance to look around a little bit. Is there anything that I can, questions that I can answer for you?
How do I get access to the restricted books in your library?
That's a composite. That's a conversation for a later time, I think.
Very well.
Summer, any questions?
Well, now that I know you have restricted books in the library, I totally have a bunch. Do you have books on necromancy?
I really couldn't say. That's really Dr. Da Vinci's field with the restricted books and books on occult studies.
Occult studies? Is that a class I can take?
That you'd have to talk to Dr. Da Vinci.
Dr. Da Vinci, okay. This school is actually sounding pretty cool. I thought I was going to get stuck taking algebra and geometry.
Jenny, any questions?
When are we done?
Well, I just we need to do some testing today, just to get you for some placement things, and then we'll get you started into classes or one-on-one work tomorrow. Sound good?
Sounds perfect.
And if I may, just to kind of hard frame forward, I'd like to maybe like cut to sort of after the school day is done, with the four of you having a chance to sit around and talk, and for Hermes to kind of introduce themselves to the other three. Does that seem okay?
Yeah.
So where do you think you would meet? Are you someplace on campus? Would you go off campus? What do you think, Yanu?
Yana would probably just suggest we like stop at some picnic table or something that's been set up in one of the outdoor seating areas.
Okay.
It's probably much fancier than a real picnic table. It's probably like some sort of like stone or really ornate woodwork sort of space.
Stone table, beautiful pavilion, fountains in the background, greenery, birds, animals all around. So how do you reveal yourself to everyone, Hermes?
Like, I mean, do you mean like how do I
Do you
show?
transform? Do you just tell them? What do you think you do?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I actually think it's probably like by accident, because like I'm still new to this. Like I'm not consciously thinking of like being superhero as like part of my identity. So I think like we are like doing idle chatter and like saying like, oh, they have such beautiful trees here. Like their gardener does a really good job. I wonder, and I think like something let's not actually let dangerous happen. I guess like maybe I see like a cat or a badger on a tree somewhere, and because that's the kind of thing I used to do in like back in my time, so like I just subconsciously like transform and go get the cat or something, and I didn't even think about like yeah.
Yeah. So you all have seen Silver Chariot before, and but this is probably the first time you've seen that transformation sequence as they shift into this armored form.
I think when the shift happens, like Yanu, like you know, springs backward, like like does a flip roll up into like almost a combat stance before he realizes, oh wait, I thought you smelled familiar. This is
Summer, who was about to say something snarky about I knew she was a robot, actually gets pulled out of it by Yanu's comment. It's like, what do you mean she smells familiar? Do you go around smelling people?
I smell everything. Do you not? Oh, that's right, you don't.
I do not smell everyone. That is not a thing I do. People can keep their odors to themselves.
I honestly, I wish most people would, but it is one of my gifts.
Yeah, but I think like I think like I suddenly like weirdly connected on there, and I say also like I think I'm more confident while in this phone, so I don't stammer as much. So I say, right. I mean, I like ever since I'm in the city, I just feel like the city it smells completely different from where I'm from. Like you don't they don't have like grass or like trees or flowers or like manure, but they have all these like exhaust like I don't know plastic burning stuff and like sewage water. It's just I don't know. I don't like it.
Cities have a particular stench that takes some getting used to. All of them do. This city is cleaner than most, but still.
And Purple Haze, how do you react now that you kind of put two and two together?
Yeah, I think she's initially like, what is happening here, right? With the transformation and stuff, and then it dawns on her, um, uh, uh, Silver Chariot. I um I thought, wow, it's I guess it's nice to see you again.
Oh yeah. Hi. Yeah. I guess you didn't recognize me, right? Yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, obviously you're this is a different look for you, but and I think she'll turn to Summer and Yanu and say, yeah, Silver Chariot and I, she's yeah, before I met you guys, um yeah, we knew each other a little bit back then, and um while I was trying to still get my hero sea legs underneath me, she kind of helped me out a couple times when I was in a bad way. So yeah, she's a good egg, a little country, but also a little rock and roll, I guess. So
Wait. That story you tell about the person who punched a train, is that you?
I,
Did you
I
punch a
mean,
train?
I mean, technically, but it's not like the train is evil, I think.
You punched an evil train? My mind is blown. I did not know that trains came in evil.
I did not know this either. I must be much more careful in my public transportation choices.
I know, right? I'm gonna have to like I've been like trying to check out people in case we have like evil wizards, but it never occurred to me to like monitor public transportation for evilness.
And
I
I
mean,
think as the four of you are sitting there, uh, it will hear that sort of flash, sound of birds kind of being startled and uh, taking off, and you will see these two figures kind of pass through the walk through the hedges towards you, uh, dressed in dark suits, that sort of Men in Black kind of look, the sunglasses on their faces, uh, and they begin to approach the four of you, and you will see them raise their hands up.
Are we still on campus?
Yes, you are.
Mm-hmm.
And you will see their hands begin to transform into weapons. Let's take our second break for 5 minutes, and then we'll come back to that. So the hands morph into these kind of like metal blaster guns that we'll see them turn and level and aim at Jenny. Purple Haze, what do you do?
I think she's going to. I think as soon as she sees them point at her, she's going to just unleash a huge billowing her cloud of stuff at them.
So are you using this to directly attack, or are you trying to impede their vision, or are you trying to do something else? What's your goal here?
The goal is to impede their vision so we can probably like buy ourselves a moment of time.
Sure. So let's have you roll freak.
All right. I hate to say I kind of want to fail because I'll advance, but I don't want that.
Well, look at that. So I think you raise that up, and your clouds start to come out, mark potential, and there's a blast from this, and it hits that cloud, and it freezes the cloud, and the kind of the icy spray hits you from that. Let's have you mark a condition.
Yeah, I'm going angry.
Okay. Summer, what are you going to do?
Summer is briefly going to freak out because she was totally not expecting this. And then, and probably duck under the table or something like that. And then remembers that, wait, she was just looking up this whole security guard guy who's supposed to deal with exactly this kind of thing. So she is going to try and use her pad to place an emergency call to Cornelius.
Let's have you roll provoke.
Okay. Let's provoke on.
It is on superior.
Provoke is on superior. Okay, flat roll for me.
So that looks
That
like
would
a
be a
6.
6.
So I think you will get the pad up. You're like, immediately realize you could call for security. And this second figure kind of shoots across and knocks that pad out of your hand, and it goes flying off into the bushes. And you're like, I don't know where that went.
Mm-hmm.
And
she will yell, dude, that was expensive.
Yanu, what do you want to do?
I think these two guys basically approached us as a unit.
Yeah, one of them has split off and rushed over and knocked the pad out of Summer's hand. The other one has blasted and frozen Purple Haze's spectral gas.
Okay. I think that Skirmish is going to try and basically engage the one that has gotten in too close with Summer to give Summer and Boo a chance to ghost up or whatever we call it when they
merge.
Yes.
Let's have you roll plus danger, Skirmish.
Okay. I'll be a roll at +1. That'd be an 11.
That is an 11. So you directly engage this threat. You're trading blows. You get to pick 2. So tell me what that looks like and tell me what you want as the picks.
Okay. I think I'm going to resist or avoid their blows.
Okay.
And I am going to I'm going to create an opportunity for my allies.
Okay. So let's say you knock them back significantly to get that room, that space. I think they clearly mark that condition. They roll when they roll up, they reach next to them, and you'll see them rip this tree up out of the ground to use as a club. That's their reaction to marking a condition.
And I think when basically the way this looks is like Yanu basically moves in close, and he's a close quarters guy. Like this is his element, and he delivers like a couple of hard body shots, and then basically just gives this sort of spinning kick to the center of mass that just sort of sends him skidding back towards that tree. And as he rips it up, I think you see like this big grin spread across Yanu's face. Because it's been a while since he got to engage in something that's just going to be just a big brawl. No alien goo involved.
Silver Chariot. So you're there at this table. I assume you're still armored up. You see one of these figures has blasted and frozen Purple Haze. The other one's got knocked back and has grabbed this tree up. What do you want to do?
Is this something I have seen before? Because they went after Jenny first, so it's at least like would I have encountered people like this while like I was like fighting against Ace of Spades, or is this something different?
Gosh, let me think. So it feels like it's not person. So I think you've seen that Ace of Spades has used morphic robots before. These don't look exactly like those, but they certainly might be a higher grade of his tech.
Yeah. So I guess it's not exactly new.
Yeah. So what do you want to do?
Yeah. So I think I was shouting like, hey, stop that! Let's not nice. And then I'm just going to punch them.
Okay. Absolutely. Let's have you roll with danger.
Yeah, okay. So let's 2d6 plus. I got a 9, so let me.
So tell me what is tell me what it looks like when you go and strike them, and then tell me what you pick.
Yeah, so I think it's actually like it's a bit of the flash, like supersonic punch trick. Like it's not supersonic, but basically I actually run backward, like away from them to gain like leg room, and then like I accelerate and just punch them.
Smash into them.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what
Yeah,
do you
trade
want?
bros.
Pardon?
No. I'm just reading the direct. This is directly engaging a threat, right?
Yeah. What
Yeah.
would you like as
So
your pick? You're gonna deal a condition to them, and what do
yeah,
you want as your one pick?
resist or avoid their blows. Take something from them. Create an opportunity for your allies. Impress, surprise, or frighten the Yeah, I think for now I'm going to resist or avoid their blows.
Absolutely. They don't get a counter strike on you as you smash into them. They are thrown back. You will see them land next to one of these fountains. And as they get up, kind of shaking off some of the effect, they will wrench a stone bench out of the ground there to swing with. But you've knocked them back. Uh, Purple Haze, you're kind of shocked at this. No one's ever done this thing. They've like neutralized your powers like that. But you see your cohort have knocked them back a bit. What do you want to do?
Well, she's pissed, so she's just gonna dive right in and um uh right at the one that froze her thing.
Okay,
So
absolutely. That's the one that Silver Chariot just hit. So you kind of rush over there and strike. So directly engage. Roll with danger. Wow, look at that. So what does that look like? And tell me what you pick. You're muted.
sorry.
That's okay.
Um, I want to. So it's two of them, right?
Yes,
Um, I want to take something from them, and I have an idea, but you can tell me if it's too much.
sure.
And then that would lead to impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Okay. So what is it you want to take from them?
I think she wants to rip off the like rip off one of their like blaster things that's on there.
Absolutely. She's gonna leap over there, grab on, yank this blaster arm off. It will stagger back. Though it does with its other hand swings out and kind of strikes you in the chest. I need you to take a powerful blow.
All right. So it's +1 for the one condition, right?
Yes, it is. Oof.
Well,
That is a 12. So when you roll that 12 there, you've got to choose one of those things from take a powerful blow. Which do you want to choose?
I want to lose control of myself or my powers in a terrible way.
All right. So you get this arm off of this thing, but I imagine that you are surrounded by that haze, by that gas, by that field. And I think we will see it spread out from where you're at. And I think we can see the grass and the trees start to wither and die around here. And this thing is kind of staggering back, like trying to adjust for the arm being torn off and trying to recalculate. You've certainly thrown it off its game. Summer.
Well, this all got really grim and gross and weird. Nothing else for it but to merge.
Okay.
Is that freak?
Yes, it is. Oh yeah. Boxcars. Uh, so uh, you will merge together, strengthen up. And what do you want to do that? Like, what does that look like? And what power are you summoning up here?
So usually we hold off, I feel, a little bit on what exactly the power is, but
Yeah, but I think with boxcars, if you want to do something with it right away, I think you should do. Yeah, I'm gonna let's
okay,
resolve that.
sure. So I actually have problems with the roll with me site. So by box cars, I assume I rolled
Oh
double
yes, you
sixes.
got a 14 right now.
I got a 14 right now. Okay, then we're just gonna fix some stuff. Um, so um, so what it looks like when she merges is it's always a little bit creepy horror show. So she gets like this weird sort of mist around her, and her eyes kind of look strange. And she rises up into the air just a little bit as this sort of miasma surrounds her. And then her body goes kind of limp, as if, if you could imagine like Doc Ock, the way, like there's this human in the middle, but they're kind of suspended, and it's really all the mechanical limbs doing all the work. That's kind of the vibe of it.
Okay.
Um, so she um, is pretty cranky. So two of these sort of shadowy limbs reach out. Remind me what our enemies are doing at this point.
So we've got one of them that had its arm torn off and has dropped that stone bench she was carrying, and it looks like it's on its last legs. And then there's
Mm-hmm.
the other one that Yanu's by that has gotten knocked around and has pulled a tree up out of the ground. And then, of course, there's this purple haze that is starting to defoliate the area.
Okay. So I think she's annoyed at the one with the tree, and one limb goes out um, to just sort of grab the tree from the attacker, and the other, there's another sort of tendril that reaches out and just kind of plunges into their chest, as if it's trying to like grab their soul or something weird like that. What's it
So
have? What's it doing? We're not entirely sure, but it can't possibly be good.
yeah, this definitely feels like you're directly engaging.
Oh yeah.
Roll plus danger.
What's danger? Oh, my danger is 2 as well.
Yeah. So you have rolled an 11.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you want as your 2 picks on that?
Oh, right, right. There's a mechanic here. Okay, basic moves. Directly engage. Um, Okay.
You could,
So it is pretty clear I am taking their tree. No
okay,
tree for you.
grab that out of them.
And I think we are also intimidating, frightening, I guess they call it here,
Yeah.
the opposition. Like this weird tendril just sort of plunged into your chest and it's rummaging around, and that cannot be good. It's not solid. So like, it's some sort of supernatural thing is sort of reaching out, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Whatever this morphing robot is, it's freaked out. Like its reactions, it doesn't know how to compensate for that, and it's trying to stagger back away from this. It will kind of grab onto that tendril and try to lance down with a jolt of electricity. What would you like? Why don't we have you mark a condition? What do you want to mark?
Well, angry is one of my favorites.
There you go.
Let's get some anger in there.
Yanu, Purple Haze has ripped a limb off of one. The one that you're fighting, you'll see that tendril pierce it from Summer and kind of got it held, and it's trying to react. What do you want to do?
I think while this thing's distracted by the ghost tendrils, I think Yanu's just gonna basically try and take it out.
Okay, should be no problem. Almost no chance you could fail. Let's have you roll with danger.
I always feel a little weird when you say it that way. Well, that's 10 though.
Oh, look at that. So just tell me how you take this thing out.
Okay, right now it's got it's had its tree taken away from it. It's got a ghost tendril through its chest that it's trying to shock away. I think basically what Yanu does is he grabs the two arms that have the morphing things on them, and he basically kick stomps it right in the chest, taking the arms off, and it's basically it goes inactive after
Absolutely. We see the flash of power breaking it, the crash as this robot thing collapses. Silver Chariot, there's one left. It has one arm, and it's a little distracted. Do you want to take that one out? Or something else?
I mean,
For Silver Chariot, yeah.
is it possible to convince them to surrender?
These are battle bots sent to destroy you. They don't really look like they're intelligent foes in that way.
Yeah. So I
You
guess
could try and disable them.
Yeah. No, I think we should just take them out.
Okay, then.
Yeah, I'm going to roll again.
Okay.
I got a 7, so that's just enough, right?
Just enough. So, what does that look like when you take this thing out?
Yeah. So, so I think like this time it's more like it's rapid punch, right? So like instead of like doing one big punch and like punching them rapidly all over the place, like using my super speed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah.
Just that sort of flurry of punches, and this thing will go down, crash with another sort of crackle of energy as it collapses to the ground. And the four of you are standing there as Purple Haze's mist begins to dissipate, and you can see that this area around here has been scoured. What do you do, Purple Haze?
Yeah, so I think this so I've been thinking about this for a second. I need to articulate it. Sorry. So I think what you would have seen is when she lost control, um her eyes are like glowing purple, and the like that sort of like vein like stuff under her arms is just throbbing with purple. And I think she probably fell to her knees and screamed when this happened and stuff. And then when it dissipates, I think she just collapses in the middle of this big, scoured, scorched area. And I think I do want to give myself a condition, just
Absolutely.
because and it's going to be afraid, because this was what Ace of Spades always wanted her to be able to do, but she kind of always held back because it was too much, right? Like it was, she likes to use her powers for, to kind of manipulate and do all that stuff, but this was, and so she's very, very afraid because she lost control.
Summer, you will see that you'll see as these things go down and crash, you see Purple Haze kind of drop to her knees and looks freaked out. Are you do you come down from your merge, or are you still in your merge? Like what do we see you doing?
Um, I think with Boxcars that she is stuck in her merge for a little while.
Okay.
Um, but Jenny, Summer's lips do not move, but Jenny can hear Summer's voice in her head with a weird sort of effect on it. Like it's kind of her and kind of Boo, except you don't actually know what Boo sounds like. But yeah, there's something else going on there. And she says, "What's wrong?"
And I think she's just kind of saying over and over again, it's too much, it's too much, it's too much, it's too much.
What's too much?
And she just is, she says, this isn't this isn't what I wanted. This isn't it's I didn't want this to happen.
Then join us. We're stronger together. And Summer will limply hold out her, still not looking with her head, but her actual hand will reach out towards Jenny.
And I think Jenny will hesitantly, clasp her hand, but then I think she'll just kind of collapse crying into Summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yanu, you see this tableau. You see Summer still in floating ghost possessed form, comforting Jenny. You've destroyed a good portion of this little space around here of the campus. Nobody's seen you all. You could get out of here potentially.
I think Yandu looks around to make sure that basically these robot things are not moving. And if they aren't, he says, this would seem like a good time for us to leave. I don't think we're in a space to really explain this, and I suspect they will be less than understanding since this is our first day here.
Right. Yeah, I guess I guess we should leave before they call the cops.
So when Summer said join us, she was not entirely speaking metaphorically. So I think she thinks it is a great idea right now to try and do a three-way merge with Jenny.
Okay.
And no, I have no idea how that works.
All right. Well, you roll freak with merge. So let's have you roll freak and let's figure out what happens from there.
Okay. I'm checking in. Joe, do you think this is fun? Okay. Enthusiastic consent. That's what we want.
Yes. If there were more thumbs, I would use them.
Okay. Did that go through?
Let's see here. It looks like we got a 12 there.
Okay.
So what do you think is the best possible result for you, Summer? Like, what did you imagine positively would happen here?
So I don't think she's thinking super clearly right now, but I think she had this general thought that that they're stronger together. So if Jenny's having trouble controlling her powers between the three of them, they should be able to handle it. So Jenny is going to merge with both of them. Come join the wacky Nimbus cloud, and feel better, and also have the resources that they need to control whatever it is that Jenny's so worried about.
So here's what we're going to do. I think that both of you can clear a condition.
Okay.
And then I think we're going to resolve sort of together the team move for sharing a vulnerability or weakness. Does that seem fair?
Sure. And if you would like it to go badly, this is where I remind you that I am out next week.
Oh yeah, I have an idea on
Oh, you
that.
already have a plan.
Yes.
Rock on. Okay.
So Ghost Girl, what is your when you share a vulnerability or weakness move here?
Oh, that's a fascinating question. Where is that? Is that in my playbook?
Oh yeah. If we look in the sheet on F67.
Give them influence over you and say whether your friend approves or disapproves of them and how strongly they feel. The friend approves, clear condition. If they disapprove, mark potential.
So what do you think?
What does Boo think? I don't usually say what Boo thinks. But I think I'm going to declare that Boo thinks this whole three-way merge thing is great. This feels right.
Then Purple Haze, you may clear another condition there. And on the other side, Purple Haze, what's your team move?
When you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, ask them what they would do something dark for and gain influence over them. So I think if it's okay, like I think as I like this idea of we're not like talking anymore because we're all merged, right? So you just
Right.
know, you just know,
Mhm.
right? You kind of know that, when Ace of Spades found her, she was weak and vulnerable, and he manipulated her, um, and she did dark, terrible things, for um, acceptance, for love, for to be part of something, to be part of a family, right? And um, and I think then maybe it causes you to maybe think, versus her just asking you, but it you see and you feel all of that, and then it causes you to think what you would do, um, something terrible for.
Mm. So again, we're just kind of feeling, this is all just kind of like being shared because this is, while there are lighter answers to this question, I think in this moment, um, the answer is power. That she likes feeling powerful. She likes being merged. She likes being special.
And both of you, because you both have influence over one another, uh, Purple Haze, you're going to shift Ghost Girls labels, and then vice versa.
Okay. What we
So
got going on over here?
if you're okay with this based on what just happened, I think your freak has to go up to 3.
Yeah. I think your freak has to go up too. I'm just trying to decide what to lower.
I'm kind of thinking maybe with all that, maybe you're mundane. I don't want to knock you to a -3, but
-2 is the lowest we're doing on
okay.
the negatives.
Gosh.
Yeah, so I think Summer, where she is at, she's going to raise your freak and lower your mundane.
That works for me. So I do think Summer's freak needs to go up, uh but what feels right? Superior doesn't feel right. Maybe with that whole revelation of I like power, maybe Savior goes down.
I can see that.
All right, I'll take that down to 0.
And
Cool.
I there is this merging. I think Skirmish, Silver, you'll see Purple Haze and Summer and this ghost form all kind of merge together. And then there's a flash, and there's just Purple Haze standing there. You don't see
Yeah,
Ghost
yeah,
Girl or Boo.
yeah. I think I'm out of my like superhero form right now because I don't think I can sustain it very long because I knew it's not stable, and I was just like, what, what, what happened? Where is uh,
This must be some new ghost power. Perhaps she teleported. She's always able to do different things whenever she takes that form.
wait? So when she asked about necromancy, she what wasn't like a metaphor or something?
What? No, no, we've actually had to fight necromancers. In fact, we will probably fight another before too long. But at any rate, we need to get our things and leave. Um, and like Yanu like looks around and tries to grab everybody's stuff, like, and I I'm guessing because of there was a move result that he does not find Summer's tablet, which is off in the bushes somewhere.
Oh, I think it's fair, given the other bad things that happened, that you can find Summer's tablet there.
Oh, okay.
And I think we're going to
Summer
see.
also has a really cute handbag, and you find that too. It's very stylish. It matches your uniform. It sets off your eyes.
I think we'll see the three of you grabbing up the stuff and heading off campus before campus security can catch you. And that's kind of where we're going to take up next time, if that is okay. I'd like to, next time we'll kind of check in with people about their daily lives. I'd like to have a chance to like talk about where Silver is living, all of that kind of thing, and figure that
Yeah, yeah.
out.
So I do have a question here. Like, does the school have a dorm or like is it a boarding school?
It does have boarding rooms if you wish to say that you're staying on campus.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, we can certainly. That's one of the things we mentioned, that some of the kids who live come from out of the area do live on campus. Let's do the end of session move, and then we'll do a quick stars and wishes. So Purple Haze, we check the end of session move, and we check, do you think you grew closer to the team, grew into your own image of yourself, or away from the team?
Well, I don't think she grew into her own image, because this was kind of the opposite of that in a way. I don't know.
I think close to the team does make sense given the connection.
the quite literal connection,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So I think that's the one that makes the most sense.
So you would give influence to Summer, and
Yep.
Summer would shift your labels again. And you get to mark potential, Purple Haze. Summer, how do you want to shift Jenny's labels?
That is a fascinating question. I think I want to move mundane up and savior down.
Okay. That sounds good. And then while we have you, Summer, do you think you grew close to the team, into your own image of yourself, or away from the team?
I think she grew into her own image of herself.
Okay. Then you're going to shift one of your labels up and one of them down.
Ooh.
What do you think you want to change?
I think kind of intrigued by keeping that freak at 3 for a while. So I think I'm gonna do the same. I think I'm gonna take mundane up and save it down.
Okay. And then Yanu, what about for you?
Well, the way Yanu's psychology works right now, anytime he gets to engage in a battle with the team, he's generally going to feel like he's closer to the team unless the battle goes terribly.
Okay.
So this went from his perspective, this went pretty well. He doesn't know what horrible disaster has befallen Summer, but so he's gone closer to the team, and I think probably based on the earlier interaction, I think he's going to say that Summer was the one that kind of that had made him feel a little more welcome because of the helping him interact earlier.
So Summer, let's see. You already have influence over Skirmish, so you get to shift Skirmish's labels.
Yeah, at some point, yeah, for the next run, and I guess this is a wish. I need to remind me how to actually spend this influence.
Okay, that's a good
keep
point.
getting more of it. Okay, Yanu's labels. What are you doing over here with your labels here, Yanu? Okay, let's You have like all zeros and ones. Um, okay, I'm gonna take your freak up for the comment about being able to smell everybody.
Okay. And
Um,
what down?
what down? Well, it's summer, so we're always taking down mundane.
Okay.
I guess I did just take up mundane, but with some other people, but
All right.
mundane's overrated.
And then before I ask Silver Chariot, Skirmish, Ghost Girl, Purple Haze, based on Silver Chariot's influence thing, you all have influence over Silver Chariot.
Okay.
So Silver Chariot, for the end of session question, do you think you grew closer to the team, into your own image of yourself, or away from the team?
Yeah, so since like I'm just introduced to the team and I haven't been able to interact with them a lot, I think for this time I'm going to choose grow into your own image of yourself.
Okay. Like how do you picture yourself? Like, well, what's the image you're hoping to project as Silver?
Hmm. I mean, I think I'm so is this like what I'm hoping to or like what happened like what people see me based on what happened in the session?
This is a question of how you see yourself. Like, how are you picturing who you are?
Yeah, then I'm going to shift Savior up. And yeah, but I'm going to shift Superior down.
Okay, that seems cool. I would like to do a quick stars and wishes. Marley, I've noted that for next time, we're going to talk about that you're here. We'll talk about spending influence and dealing with that. Anything else, stars and wishes?
Nope. That was the big thing that I've been sort of like, oh, this is the mechanic I keep falling down on. Other than that, that was a fun and welcome to the team, Mona.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it is something that I often forget is that we have that mechanic, that you can use it, that you can help people or affect people with that. So I have to remember that. Skirmish, stars, wishes.
No, stars generally, I like the way everybody like interacted. Um, I like I I kind of enjoyed Purple Haze's interaction with Vortex. Like I like that sort of dynamic they have. Um, and I always enjoy how Summer basically serves at least as some sort of like coordinating, serves that sort of like program coordinator function for the team in a lot of ways. Like she gets us to focus when sometimes when we need to focus. And
Sometimes I
uh,
wonder if it's just that she gets bored easily.
Yeah.
Let's go do the thing.
six of one, half dozen of the other. And also the merge move is one of my favorite moves in that playbook that you have, and the way you described the merge form is always super awesome, and I always look forward to seeing like what happens when you ghost up. So kudos on the cool description, and kudos on the like weird join us thing. That was just
That's very cool.
that gave me chills. That was awesome. Um, and I really want to see where Silver Chariot goes. Like I like this. I like the setup. I like the way that Mona that you're portraying the character and how sort of out of sorts she is normally, and then how she suddenly becomes a little more uh, not solid, but maybe just connected or grounded when she armors up. So that was a lot of fun to see. And Lowell, like these are always so much fun. So thanks. Thank you
Awesome.
again for running this.
Mona, anything stars or wishes wise?
Yeah, 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 yeah. No,
Okay,
sorry,
sure.
I was muted. Yeah,
Sorry.
no, I think I just start for everyone because I'm just like uh I'm just jumping in, but I think we have a really interesting cast here, and I'm just looking forward to like getting to know everyone better in character and like see how this goes.
Anything wishes wise? I know we've got some really interesting sort of fish out of water moves, and I definitely want to make sure we play into those.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to have wishes wise?
Not particularly because like I picked transfer mostly just so because like I play up that fish out of water kind of thing since I myself and also like just joining at like the less
Mm-hmm.
1/3 of the sessions, and also because I have played a lot of other PBTA game, but I have actually never actually played like masks
Oh,
before.
really?
Yeah, so I'm not that familiar with this particular game either.
Okay. Yeah, and if stop me at any point if you have any questions, if I'm like
Yeah.
if I'm jumping into a mechanic that we haven't covered, so please feel free to do that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's fine.
Purple Haze.
Yeah. So stars. Imone, I thought you did a great job jumping in. It's always hard when things you're joining like this, and I thought you did awesome. I too am super interested in the character, and I do really like. I thought the showing up not in uniform was like absolutely perfect, right? It was like I was like absolutely perfect. Um, and then I think the other star, I mean, Marley, that was pretty fucking awesome. Sorry if that offended anybody, but that was awesome. Um, so yeah. And for me, my wishes are, I would like to next time to have a chance to, if possible, I mean, to interact with some of the friends in bad places because I
Mm-hmm.
had some ideas about trying to find out information about Effie family,
Okay.
relation to his thing. And then I
And
also would,
also, one of the things I had on the notes and we didn't get to was your drives, and so I
oh
want to
yeah,
make sure that we hit those
I can
next
always
time.
find a reason to punch somebody, so
Okay.
I can always hit that one. I was assuming there might be some uptight schoolmaster that would get would show up, but and then I also want to I kind of want to explore the idea of the after effects of this merge, right? I don't think you can do something like that and then just it not be, you know, a thing, right?
Yeah.
I think that might be fun to just whether that's just narrative, right? That just in the fiction or something like I'm not interested in trying to gain powers or anything, but I just think fictionally I'd like to explore what that means to her and what like the first thing I thought of was she shows up to school the next day all like decked out because she inherited some of Summer's fashion sense and
I
stuff.
like that. Well, and you've got an advance to take, right?
Yeah,
So we'll check in on that next time.
actually I think I'm gonna unlock my moment of truth.
Oh, interesting. Good, interesting choice. Uh, Thank you, everybody. I am going to stop the recording.